Same thing for Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni before people thought Sirianni was a good coach.
And now it's indisputable that he deserved the contract extension, which
absolutely.
he got yesterday. It's indisputable that the Western Conference Finals start tonight. You can catch all the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio, postseason action on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. We have 2 megastars going head-to-head? No, we don't.
We have 1 megastar and 1 really good player who is a star.
Who's who?
Ant is the megastar.
You keep shading SGA. You try to pretend that I'm the only one.
Is he a megastar?
No.
Come on, I'm saying the obvious.
He's not a megastar.
He has an opportunity now to become one.
Is Ant a megastar?
Yes.
Yes.
Because?
Anthony Edwards is
He's got
a
iced tea in his sneaker commercials. Like he's the face of so many different brands out there. He's on every commercial break.
Randy Orton is calling him the legend killer.
I mean,
because that's what he's done.
It's an apt title, right?
He's taken out Kevin Durant. He's taken down Jokic, LeBron, Luka,
Did you
Steph.
just make a wrestling reference?
Of course I did. I'm a wrestling girl now.
You just dropped. I literally thought I heard that incorrectly. I'm like,
Randy Orton.
No, I know, but I thought, I'm like, did she just confuse a wrestler for an NBA analyst?
No, he tweeted out a cartoon
unbelievable.
of himself and Ant, and he's putting a chain on Ant that says legend killer because this is what he's done so far. He's taken down all the big names in basketball. Now, the next one up is the presumptive MVP and Shea.
Well, what does Cody Rhodes think of Ant?
I don't know. I haven't asked.
Well, you should.
I will.
Get on
Cody,
that.
Call in.
So we have a mega star and a star, but the star is the MVP. The star is the one who's on the best team in basketball based on record. The star is the one that we all think should win it all based on the fact that they are the favorites from ESPN Bet. Wow. Okay. So.
Well, we're talking about Ant, potential face of the league. We haven't said that about Shea, correct?
Correct.
So that should tell you that one is a megastar if we're even having his name so prominently in that conversation.
Have we eliminated Shea as face of the league simply because we have all said, and I think it's crazy, but people have said, it needs to be an American-born player as face of the league, that we struggle with the non-American-born player, which, again, I don't think makes any – like, why couldn't Wemby, Giannis, or Luka be the face – or Jokic be the face of the league? I don't get it.
No.
But obviously Shea is Canadian.
I think Shea falls into the Jason Tatum bucket, where you're just awesome at your job, you're incredibly consistent, you're never the headline, you don't give us that bombastic personality that Ant does, but we acknowledge how amazing you are at your craft.
I think that is fair, but I also think that if we're going to talk about face of the league with Ant specifically and then not have Shea because of personality, I don't think going to the finals makes you the face of the league. I think you got to win it all. And I don't think just because he's a giant killer with all these guys on the resume, as you said, Randy Orton was making reference to, you still got to win it all because what happened.
Sure, but the biggest challenge for him winning it all would be getting through the Western Conference Finals. No, whatever team he inevitably faces coming out of the East, we would consider inferior to what we've got from OKC this year. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
So this
no,
is the
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'll tell you why. I think this playoff has been flipped upside down. My assumption of, well, you're going to have to go through Boston or Cleveland, it's just not true. Oh, we're going to have LeBron or Steph. One of them is going to hang around for a little bit. That's just not true, right? So I think on the surface, we could sit here today and say, we assume that if Oklahoma City gets past Minnesota, that is their toughest matchup. But you, CC, have said all along, why are we just dismissing Indiana? And you kind of just dismiss Indiana. So I would just take a step back and say, we think so? We're not positive.
I'm not dismissing Indiana. What I will say is the Oklahoma City Thunder seem like the most well-balanced team that's remaining in the playoff field.
Right. I understand that.
Hard stop.
Yeah,
I
get that.
They had 68 wins in the regular season. So I look at the potential barriers to the Timberwolves winning the championship, and it feels like this is the biggest obstacle. It feels like this is the biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
What if they play Giannis and the Knicks?
Oh,
he's not on the Knicks yet. Everybody's already penciling him in that the Knicks have won a title and they got Giannis? Wow. Just saying.
Anti-New York over there.
I'm not anti-New York.
You are anti-New York.
You're anti-Knicks.
How can I be? No, I'm the only one who picked the Knicks. I just think it's funny that we're already having conversations about Giannis to the Knicks, and the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm just saying. I think, to me, I get what you're saying. I think Ant has to win it all to be the face of the league. I think if he wins it all, and you see him on that podium, and you see him smiling, and you see him probably dancing, and you see him wearing the hat kind of like half on his head with the biggest smile on his face, throwing the champagne on himself and all of the teammates, you could see Anthony Edwards, who's been in movies with a $1 million smile, as the face of the league. Absolutely agree. But I think it's got to be a title. And I think to Pat Costello, actually, one of our producers, because Pat, to be fair, has said all along, can we stop until he does something at the end?
Can I ask you a question? Because you're saying face of the league has to win it all. Is there anybody in the playoff field that can take that moniker if they win it all? Or is it just Ant? Because it feels like Ant stands alone in that regard. It doesn't feel like there's any other player that if they win a title, they're going to be the face of the league post LeBron James.
So SGA, Brunson, and Halliburton?
No. So
I don't think any of those guys are the face of the league.
I think Brunson for the offseason. It reminds me a little bit of D-Wade. Yeah, it reminds me of D-Wade in 06. D-Wade was the best player in the world in 06. The offseason was king of the NBA. The next season started, it goes back to Kobe and LeBron. I could see Jalen Brunson this offseason being everywhere if they win it all.
It's interesting that we say he wouldn't be moving forward because imagine he plays for the Knicks, for crying out loud. You bring a championship to New York for that franchise, and you're the engine, and you are the guy who gets it done in clutch time. There's so many things contributing to reasons why he should be the face of the league. But I'm with Cece. I think it would be Ant and no one else.
I would have a tough time with Halliburton. I don't think he would be because, he should. All these guys theoretically should be. I just think it's Ant and then maybe Brunson in terms of quote-unquote face of the league. But, by the way, you can go to ESPN Bet right now and bet on who you think is going to be finals MVP before the Eastern and Western Conference Finals even start. You could bet on who wins it all. These are the kind of things you got to get ahead of this stuff and look at some of the odds and smalls. You could do that by way of ESPN Bet.
Oh, yeah, and also ESPN Bet. We came through with our bet last night.
Yes, all
play
right.
of the day, I'm just saying.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn nha. Mình sẽ giới thiệu cho các bạn về kênh của mình và những video của mình cho các bạn biết được là kênh của mình làm video sáng tạo nội dung về chủ đề gì. Video của mình sẽ làm xuyên suốt về chủ đề cắt dán này. Mình sẽ cắt dán những sản phẩm như thế này cho các bạn xem. Còn đây là những sản phẩm mình đã hoàn thiện rồi. Sẽ giới thiệu sơ qua cho các bạn xem những sản phẩm của mình và cách của mình tạo ra những sản phẩm như thế nào. Và để tạo ra được những sản phẩm đa dạng màu sắc như thế này và như thế này thì mình sẽ cần những dụng cụ như sau. Những dụng cụ phụ bổ trợ như là đây là giấy thủ công màu các bạn. Trước mặt bên tay phải của mình đây là giấy thủ công màu. Nó có đa dạng những màu sắc, để tạo ra những sản phẩm tuyệt đẹp cho các bạn xem. Đấy. Có giấy màu xanh dương này, giấy màu cam này các bạn này, giấy màu đỏ này, giấy màu vàng này, còn đây là giấy màu xanh lá cây. Đấy. Và trong quá trình tạo ra những sản phẩm của mình cần những dụng cụ như là bút dạ này, kéo cắt thì để dùng để cắt, bút dạ thì để dùng để tạo hình những sản phẩm. Còn đây là hồ dán các bạn ạ. Hồ dán thì mình sẽ dán những sản phẩm từ một chi tiết này sang chi tiết khác, từ màu sắc này sang màu sắc khác cho các bạn. Còn đây sau của mình đây là chiếc chân kẹp điện thoại này. Chân kẹp điện thoại thì phải có điện thoại. Còn đây là đèn hỗ trợ ánh sáng của mình các bạn ạ. Đèn hỗ trợ ánh sáng để giúp cho video của mình sáng hơn, để cho các bạn xem đẹp hơn. Cái nồi của mình này, lò chiên này, máy in. Trước mặt của mình rất nhiều sản phẩm. Và kênh của mình thì cũng đã đạt được nút bạc của YouTube rồi các bạn này. sau nhiều lần nỗ lực, nhiều năm nỗ lực của mình đã đạt được thành quả là chiếc nút bạc các bạn ạ. Đây là những sản phẩm tiêu biểu của mình rồi. Mình đã làm rất nhiều sản phẩm rồi. Que kem này, que kem đẹp, con cá này các bạn ạ. Các bạn thấy những sản phẩm của mình còn lưu trữ rất nhiều này. Đấy. Sau khi mình cắt dán xong sản phẩm này, mình sẽ đưa lên phần mềm Camtasia trên máy tính của mình để edit video nha. Mình sẽ edit video để sau khi xong thì mình sẽ xuất ra và tải lên kênh cho các bạn xem thôi. Các bạn hãy chờ đón những sản phẩm của mình nha.